versus...
A little messy towards the end as well. A little messy.
It was a little bit messy from him, but I think overall, I liked a lot of what I was seeing from him in that series, aside from a missed lethal right at the end that was easy to miss, to be fair to him.
Yeah. One cool thing to know is there's also a player in the field right now who is actually undefeated going into round 4, whose name is Lawful Dog. This is Chaotic Dog.
Chaotic Neutral Dog, or?
No, I don't know. I think we only have 2 dog or canine themed players in the event. But taking a look at some of the deck lists, because this is one of our side matches, we don't actually know if they're switching between primary and secondary. This is game 2, though. WtyBill currently has a 1-0 lead in this battle for 4-0 supremacy.
Oh, so this is Dog's. Dog has 2 Astromancers in his primary deck.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty clearly teching for the Warriors.
As well as Alex Straza, Calicos, and the double Mountain Giant. One interesting thing to note is he actually has double Rabble Bouncer as well on his primary list, which doesn't so often synergize with the double Astromancer. But he's got Luna's Pocket Galaxy, so that makes it a little bit make a little bit more sense. And
right. I see what he's cut everything at the top of his deck. He has basically no cheap spells in his deck at all.
And no Mana Cyclone. So this is more akin to a Summoner Mage, but it's not a Summoner Mage in the sense that it doesn't have Book of Specters.
Right. So it's kind of a hybrid between Cyclone Mage and Freeze Mage, where it's not running the burn spells that Freeze Mage does, it's running the freeze part of Freeze Mage.
Yeah, its burn spells is essentially a cheap big minion plus Conjurer's Calling, and those hit face. That's the cool burn deck. It's minion Freeze Mage.
Right.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Also has the Arcane Keysmith, which you can see there drawn this turn from Dog. It seems like this deck would be pretty good against Warrior.
It seems like this deck would be quite insane versus Warrior.
Yeah, but Dog currently staring at a 1-0 score in favor of WtyBill, who we also saw on stream earlier take a win versus Karakute.
Is it that difficult of a turn? Actually, I guess if he goes for... if he goes for Acolyte of Pain, he would actually just be met with a pretty swift Coin Wrench Caliber or Militia Commander. And therefore this does make some amount of sense. Just set up for the Acolyte King on turn 5 instead.
Yeah. Clean board for Arcane Keysmith. One thing about Arcane Keysmith is I think it's a very good card for the Mage Mirror. Now, Dog probably won't be playing too many True Mirrors.
Yeah.
Over the course of Hearthstone Grandmasters, Dog and Frozen have been pretty vocal about them practicing with each other.
Yeah.
I wonder if Frozen's brought this similar list. But Arcane Keysmith, in the mirror, you can get Counterspell or Spellbender quite easily, as well as a minion. Makes it very difficult for mage opponents to kind of test it all the secrets, since their mana is pretty restricted in that mid game when they want to be making those big moves.
Well, I remember with the Book of Spectres mages, where you were very often playing Arcane Keysmith in the mirrors. Getting Mirror Image, or Mirror Entity, sorry, was just insane. You just always wanted to go for that because they'd play Giant into it, and then you just pull miles ahead from that position.
Well, Spellbender kind of the same way, because the only targeted spell they played in that deck was Conjurer's Calling.
Yeah.
So it was almost like you could never play Conjurer's Calling if they played Spellbender, because it just gave your opponent more stuff on the board, and you spent the whole turn developing a big threat, and then giving your opponent a couple extra 1-drops. Or 2-drops.
In the Summoner Mage Mirror, Arcane Keysmith was a 4-mana 2/2 that said the text, literally win the game.
Yes. That's pretty much what it was. With Cyclamaze, it's a little bit more difficult. They have a lot more cheap spells, a lot more cheap minions that they can throw out to test for secrets, but it does cause a lot of disruption.
Whoa.
Nice.
Aggressive play coming through here from Dog. With a double Kirin Tor Tricaster. Pretty miserable in this deck, it's got to be said. Wow, even though a Ray of Frost does now deal 8 damage, as we just saw there, to a singular minion.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It does give spell damage +3, right?
Yes. If he had any kind of burn spells, that would be insane.
But he doesn't. And we did get note that Doc is playing his tertiary deck.
Oh, right.
Which includes a copy of Arcane Dynamo and Deranged Doctor.
What on earth? So we made it even more top-heavy than it already is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Luna's Pocket Galaxy with Snip Snap is so cool. You can magnetize it. Play it once and then magnetize it 3 times.
Right, but the echoed copy still costs 3.
It still costs 3, but it allows you to fit in. Usually the full mana expenditure of Snip Snap means you get to play 3. With Luna's Pocket Galaxy,
you can play 4.
You can play 4.
You can snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Quadruple snap.
Do you have any idea the physical toll that takes on a warrior?
Job's done.
Let's have a warrior right now. Fully loaded Blastmaster Boom.
The juice. And it's going to be pretty important here for WtyBill because Dog is threatening a lot of damage already. And he can he's showing no signs of stopping for the moment, with obviously another Conjurer's Calling in hand, in addition to the Astromancer, the Giant, the power of creation that he's now discovered as well.
He could Ray of Frost this Blastmaster Boom twice and kill it. Actually, I think that might be a... Is that the twin-spelled copy? I'm not sure.
Pain, speak to me.
That's so powerful. He would have, at that point, played a 6-mana Flame Lance.
That's not good.
That's terrible.
Even Flame Lance wasn't that good.
It really was not.
All right, now WtyBill. I like the full aggression game plan here. Attack all 6 boom bots to face, then brawl. If you think the average boom bot deals 2.5 damage,
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
that's on average 15 damage. Plus the 6 you're dealing, that's 21 damage. If you get slightly above average, you're on 1 bomb to win.
I think the counterpoint to that argument is that Brawl will continue to be very good throughout the course of this game. And he basically has a guaranteed board clear anyway with all these boom bots.
Yeah.
So use them now and save the Brawl for effectively making 2 board clears instead of just 1.
My job is to say the dumb plays.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And your job is to say, DJ, that's the dumb play.
Right. TJ, that's the dumb play.
There you go. Nailed it.
I mean, actually, to your credit, it wasn't that dumb. I can see your reasoning for it. If WtyBill thought he was in a miserable position in this game, he could have considered it.
Fair.
His was better, but it was worth considering. Oh, as the Boombot will heal with the attack in and with the damage it deals to face with Ziliak's magnetized arm.
My calculations are flawless. Arena
Rebel Bouncer. Does have that Conjurer's Calling over there to the far left. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That was a snap for installation.
Coming right up.
No boombots have been drawn, so that is still a fully juiced, stone cold pressed juice Blastmaster Boom. So Dog's got to deal with it all over again. Last time he had a board.
Pain, speak to me.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier for him.
Yeah.
So I guess his response has to therefore be counter pressure, and counter pressure real quick as well, because WtyBill obviously doesn't have Dr. Boom Mad Genius active, and therefore a Blastmaster Boom cannot have the Boombots rush in to clear the board instantly. So maybe Dog is thinking if he can develop a really big board on this turn, maybe he can just threaten lethal before Blastmaster Boom can even be played. Huh, you know.
I don't know if this is enough pressure. WtyBill wisely held on to the Brawl on the turn that I would have unwisely played it. One other thing to note is WtyBill is on his own tertiary deck, which, as you can see, looks like it is the anti-mage deck. His primary deck has only 1 Brawl, but this deck he's included 2 Big Game Hunters, that second Brawl, and a Super Collider.
Wow, it's kind of an old school anti-mage tech. We've seen a little bit of a evolution since then. I think it's fair to say in Grandmasters, where players tend to go for the more higher pressure routes to counteract mage rather than the removal.
I don't know if Dog gets past this. He's going to have effectively one more turn worth of damage. Curious why he didn't clear off the higher attack minion in that sense. Because both of those are 7 drops.
Right.
And it just leaves 1 extra damage on board.
Yeah.
So he's at 22. Power of Creation into Reckless Rocketeer is lethal. RJ Commander would be a few off. He has 12. It would be an additional 8, 20, 20. Oh, what? Reckless Rocketeer, I think that's lethal. What? He's at 22 health. He's got 12 on board. Oh! He got it! What in the world? All right. Maybe the brawl play was correct.
Range Doctor in an actual Hearthstone deck with the Death Rattle Rogue with a Kobold Illusionist.
At the very end, be right before the
Yes.
newer expansion set rotation, yeah.
That was a cool deck.
Yeah, I don't think it was
wasn't great.
insanely powerful, but it did have just huge bursts of healing with like Necroom Vial, Necroom Blade.
Mr. Ball Control sat just a few meters to my
Bob
left.
Control.
Was playing that a lot in Battle Rift just before the rotation.
Kind of funny, we just name drop all these very popular, very great Hearthstone players, and oh, there he is, right over there. Speaking of Ball Control, he's about 15 feet to my left.
He is. Right next to Hunter Ace, Bunny Hopper, Orange, and Muzzy.
Yeah.
That's some star power.
And Pheno.
Some of those people don't dislike me.
Where's Zixo when you need him?
Oh, always too close.
All right, we're going into game number 3. Same decks for both players. Looks like it's going to be Tertiary versus Tertiary. I can tell because there's a Deranged Doctor in the opening hand for Dog, and there's a Big Game Hunter and a second Big Game Hunter in the opening hand for WtyBill.
It's funny you mentioned Deranged Doctor because there's a Deranged Doctor 15 feet to my left. Bunny Hopper.
For a moment, I forgot. But it's not like we haven't said hundreds of times on broadcast over the past 3 months that Bunny Hopper does, in fact, have a PhD.
We're probably more proud than his parents at this point.
I know.
That he's got the degree.
We're just more proud that a Hearthstone player is smart.
Speak to me.
It's proof. We have it in writing.
Yes, we do.
As these first few turns have, as we've been waffling on, been fairly self-explanatory. The first interesting play is the Acolyte coming down, on turn 4 for WtyBill?
Yeah.
Which actually, to be fair, is kind of interesting. Obviously setting up for the Dynamatic, I suppose.
Yeah. He could still go with Dynamatic. It's just like
Defend the gates.
draw 3 cards,
Wow.
most likely.
Yeah.
Or not most likely. Draw 2 cards, most likely. And give up your board. But this play is a heavy expenditure, but since WtyBill has Super Collider and double Big Game Hunter in his hand right now,
Yeah.
he's confident that this board is going to stick. Ooh. So Super Collider will answer this, but he'll have to trade in one of these minions.
I think he's pretty happy to be doing that. As if Doc didn't have the Harrison Jones here, this would be looking like a pretty lights out few turns here for WtyBill.
Yeah. Problem with Harrison Jones is Dog's hand is quite full.
That's true. That is true.
Is that a news? All right. Problem solved.
I guess he could go for Ooze Frostbolt and Ping.
Yeah.
You'd never play the CAD guy. Yeah. You just.
The interesting thing about this matchup is even with Super Collider, double Brawl, double Big Game Hunter, I still don't think WtyBill has enough removal for this deck.
I think you're right.
Because you have Archmage Antonidas, double Astromancer, Deranged Doctor, Alexstrasza, Caligos, and double Mountain Giant.
Yeah.
Oh, and Snip Snap.
And therefore, I think the real fear for Dog isn't that he doesn't have enough threats, it's that he can't get to them quickly enough.
Yeah.
So he needs to maximize card draw, which is what seems to be leading him to the conclusion that he needs to overdraw a card in order to draw 2 cards. I mean, it effectively gets him 1 extra card.
Huh. I mean, overdraws, you could always think of it as Okay. Meanwhile, you can always think of it as if you don't plan on drawing your entire deck, you can think of that discarded card as the card that was at the bottom of the deck.
Exactly. As long as it's not crucial to your game plan, you should be fine. As the Nosdormu coming down would have made this a little bit difficult for WtyBill if he didn't have the perfect answer of Big Game Hunter.
Yep. And now the board's getting kind of out of control.
Yeah, this is kind of the point where Dog may not even have the liberty to drop down the Deranged Doctor because he might be under too much pressure.
Nah, he can drop it.
He can drop that Doc.
Drop the Doc.
This is why we need different voice packs in Hearthstone so that I can get the new battle cry or the sound effect of Deranged Doctor to be TJ Sanders giving me a drop the Doc.
You wish.
I do wish.
All right, Khadgar Conjurer's Calling on the Mountain Giant for Dog. This looks like what he was setting up for with the Harrison. But Double Brawl already in the hand for WtyBill. Now, worst case scenario, a Giant or something close to it lives, and looks like Mountain Giant did, or Grey Forest, sorry, there was no Mountain Giants, did live. So he's going to take that damage. And Dog's free to drop Alexstrasza. This is a ton of pressure. Already down to 10 life.
The Luna's Pocket Galaxy being picked up, not even making any difference at the moment, as WtyBill, even after all his removal that he's thrown down, he needs more.
He can Big Game Hunter Barista Lynchin and then Big Game Hunter again, but then he's
just
Frostbolt
dead.
out for lethal, and Dog has 2 Frostbolts in the deck. Even in the tertiary deck has 2 Frostbolts.
So does he go Big Game Hunter Ziliax, no attacks?
Well, if you don't attack, then you lose most... well, you don't lose, but you lose to Conjurer's Calling Frostbolt.
That's true, that's true. So then does he go Dynamatic Ziliax and then hope to trade into the Grey Forest?
Whoa! Oh, no!
Oh, disaster!
He just needed 2 hits on the Grey Forest.
Disaster!
And Alexstrasza... Oh, this is atrocious.
Hold me, TJ.
WtyBill has a 2 out of 3 chance to lose, and that's game. Dog with the Frostbolt, 2-1 over WtyBill, and moves on after round 4 undefeated here at the Masters Tour Las Vegas.
He's looking